38F 39 meters. My husband's new wife is taking my place everywhere, even in my own family. I'm 38F. My ex-husband is 39. We were together for 15 years when he asked for a divorce. I was completely crushed. I tried everything to keep our marriage together. I told him I was willing to do anything. But he didn't want to work on it. After the divorce was finalized, he started dating someone else right away. 26F. And I was completely devastated. Between needing to work more to keep up with bills, as well as losing access to a lot of my medications. Without his health insurance, most of them were too expensive to afford on my insurance. I fell into a deep depression. Our kids always wanted to spend time over their fathers. His new partner is much younger than me, and completely able-bodied, and is able to run around with them and practice sports with them and go hiking with them. All stuff that I wasn't able to do, and I don't blame them for wanting to spend more time there. I tried to make things as fun as possible here, but it just didn't even compare. They spend most of their time there now. It's really hard for me, but they were old enough to know what made them happiest, and they made their own decision. Now they're married. I'm not complaining, because as a stepmother she's amazing. She always respects me as their parent and lets me know if they're taking them somewhere far away. She sends me pictures and updates of them every day. She's a good person too. She's taken me to doctor's appointments before when the buses weren't running. The problem is, as well as my sons and husband clearly liking her better than me as well, I think my family likes her better too. And that's really hard for me. Over the holidays, my aunt, mother's sister, had a holiday party. It was on a day I was working. But even so, I never got an invite. I had no idea it was happening until I opened up social media and saw photos of all of them. My son's an ex and his new wife all dressed up and celebrating Christmas with my family. There's this one picture of my kids, Paige and my mother, all posing around the Christmas tree. You'd never be able to tell she wasn't actually my mother's daughter just from looking at that picture. When I asked my family about the party, they said they knew I worked Saturdays and knew I wouldn't be able to get off. So what was the point of inviting me? They thought it would just make me upset. But they did want to celebrate with the kids. So they invited them and my ex. Then today my mom is talking about family birthdays. She's planning out for February. When we have a month with multiple birthdays, we do one big family party. So she's saying all the people who have birthdays in February, and she lists my ex-husband's new wife. And says we need to find a weekend to celebrate. I was a little taken aback that we were celebrating hers too. And my mother got kind of annoyed and said, well, she is part of the family now. That's just something you need to accept. I just get the feeling they like her more than me. And I get it. She's young, pretty, very friendly and fit and personable. And I'm not. I just don't know how to deal with feeling like I'm being replaced. Just shoved to the side. I'm probably being way too dramatic about this. I guess I'm just feeling bad for myself. When I asked my family about the party, they said they knew I worked Saturdays and knew I wouldn't be able to get off. So what was the point of inviting me? Why couldn't you just plan it for a day I was off? I would have been happy to give you my schedule if you'd asked. Instead of feeling like you're replacing me with his new wife. Have a conversation with your mom that while you appreciate that she wants to include your kids, stepmom, you still want to be invited to family gatherings. It should be up to you whether you can make it work or not with your schedule. Perhaps suggest a day and time that would work for you for the February birthdays gathering. I'm so sorry you feel that you've been replaced. I think you need to have an honest conversation with your family about this and explain that while you like and appreciate your ex's wife and their attempts to make your ex and the wife welcome, you want to have these moments with your kids and family too. My heart hurts for you. I know how you feel to a lesser extent. But I don't have kids or anything. I just try to isolate and disappear. If you're ever feeling lonely or down, my DMs are always open to you. So your family invited your ex and his new wife but didn't invite you? Jesus Christ. I mean, I really don't think you're being dramatic. My heart just breaks for you. I'm so sorry you're going through this. And your mother. I'm literally crying. How can everyone around you be so cruel? Those children exist because you literally gave yourself to create them. I'm not cut out for motherhood. I say you focus on healing yourself whatever it takes. You can remain open and available to your children until they are old enough and grown enough to understand properly. Leave the rest of them behind and find your happiness now. I think it is admirable that you are understanding of your children's decision. And it is true that a parent struggling with depression is hard on children and teens. But I think it may help to actually get a little righteously angry with your mom. Sometimes a way through feeling sad is righteous anger as long as it is expressed in a mature manner. I'd tell your mother that not inviting you regardless of your work schedule but including your ex and his wife is both inconsiderate and just plain mean. Be very clear your feelings are hurt. And, while it is important for her to have a good relationship with her grandchildren, she absolutely does not need to plan your ex's new wife's birthday party. And she's being really insensitive. Tell her you've been replaced once. Can she even consider your feelings in this matter? New wife is an extended part of your children's family. But she is not actually anything in your mom's life. Ask your mom to respect some boundaries. She may not take it well or do so, but at least you spoke up for yourself instead of rolling over. That sucks. I'm so sorry. Pensive face. I'm lost for words. How had your relationship been with your family? I would go and see if my mother ever pulled anything like this. Love to you. Hey up. I'm really sorry. This hurt to read and you're not being dramatic. Your kids are 11 and 13 as you mentioned in a different post. They probably only like this new wife because she's taking them to places that are fun and kids like that sort of stuff at that age. You shouldn't care if your ex-husband likes her. Leave him in the past because he didn't fight for your marriage. Set boundaries with the new wife if you feel like she's being too comfortable with the children. Your family has no right to be favoring her in that sort of way when she isn't anything to them. It shows they're being shallow if they only like her due to her looks. Don't put yourself down in the process. Seek therapy and speak to your family about how you're feeling. Your family sucks, especially your mother. Perhaps you would do well to tell her so. I cannot tell you how devastated I would be. You're strong. I can read it everywhere in this post. Were you ever able to get back on some depression meds? I know. For me, if I am off mine, everything hits me significantly harder. I hope you can find some happiness between the shadows. I'm not sure how helpful this is. But maybe it could be something. Write letters to your kids and keep them for when they're older. You're feeling they're pulling away and likely are. They're probably excited over having a new young mom, and I'm so sorry for that. But write letters to your kids. Maybe some you'll burn when you read them a few years from now. But write to your kids and let them know you've always cared about them. Don't make the letters about your strife. Keep those for yourself. But if new mom takes more and more of your place until the kids hit their 20s, you need a way to share with your kids' future selves how much you tried. That you didn't retreat for nothing. Don't make the letters too poor me, even though you have every right to, but a sort of backstop of communication you can share with them when they get a bit older. So sorry you're experiencing this. That sucks to read. Do you have any disability of some sort? I ask 'cause of how you worded your post. I think it will take some time, but you need to go like 85% NC with your family and ex-husband. Try to maintain your relationship with your kids, but you need to start doing new things to create a life of your own. It will suck, but eventually you'll be preoccupied with the activities in your life. The busier you get, the more experience you'll have to share with your kids. Gonna be tough, but life isn't fun or fulfilling if it's not a little rough. You sound like you're in the midst of depression. The telltale sign is feeling invisible. Often our loved ones do not know how to deal with the negativity that a depressed person exhibits, as it's an overwhelming dark cloud that hangs over your head. As other commenters call your family members names, it may be that your family, including your children, do not know how to be around you. Kindly open up to your mom and let her know that you're feeling isolated. Start with that. Your family members are assholes. I'm sorry, but there's no kinder way I can put this. Doesn't matter if she's younger or fitter or more outgoing. You are their mother, their daughter and their sibling, and what they're doing is inexcusable. Go NC op. They're doing all this because you're not giving them any pushback. And if they don't care that you're not around anymore, I would say no great loss. At least this way you won't witness this abhorrent behavior day in day out. I think you need to prioritize taking care of your depression. Depression can have a way of making us believe the most hurtful interpretation of every event. It's possible that some of the favoritism you're noticing is more about your feelings about yourself than their feelings about the new wife. Also, it can be hard to have fun and connect with people who are depressed. I know you're having financial trouble, but have you considered CBT or ACT? They're 68-week therapy programs that teach you tools on how to deal with your emotions. They're the types of therapies with the most evidence behind it and can be pretty inexpensive. You can do them with a therapist or on your own through books or online courses. The advantage of doing it with a therapist is that you're more likely to finish it. But both forms are equally effective if you do finish it. Some studies do find that people who are depressed can benefit from starting the CBT while on antidepressants, because the depression can make it hard to learn and take new perspectives. Then you can taper them off once you have the tools you need. Well, she's part of the family now. That's just something you need to accept. No, she is not part of your family. What the actual heck is wrong with them? Your kids are part of your family. Your ex-husband and his wife are not part of your family. You don't have to accept anything. They're out here pretending they have some blood relation to those two. So cold-hearted and inconsiderate. I swear these people have no sense of empathy. What the actual cuss words? How cruel. I think the most generous interpretation I can make is that they're worried about losing access to your children and aren't worried about that happening through you. They aren't caring for you at all. Though, keep that in mind. Best of luck, Blue Heart. I'm so sorry this happened to you. Your story is very heartbreaking. Your mother and siblings are especially cruel in their stance to not be considerate of your heart and feelings. Don't expect it to get better. They are who they are. Some people are assholes and go the extra mile to be cruel. But here on out, just know these are the cards you are dealt with. Take a few steps back and assess what you can and cannot live without. Make yourself boundaries to protect yourself.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.